National NBA analyst Brian Windhorst with his concerns regarding the Cavaliers.
Their defense has really slid over the last 3-4 weeks. One of the things that is an issue for them is size on the perimeter. This is where Atlanta really caused them problems. They were finding mismatches with the size advantages that they had on the perimeter. If you look at what the Cavs are bringing off the bench on the perimeter, it's just not great size. The league also is now preparing for the Cavs zone. For a while the Kenny was sort of going to this curveball of zone defense late in games, and a couple of times it really worked well. They were in trouble against the Hawks last week. They go to zone. Trae Young was waiting on it like a hitter sitting on changeup. There's no doubt that the Hawks had pre-prepared exactly what to do against the Cavs zone. So I do think that is developing as an issue that teams are going to poke at.
With that, let's welcome in Sam Amico, hoopswire.com, co-host of Full Court Cleveland. Sam, I know we're nitpicking, but it's a legitimate concern at this point.
Yeah, we saw that against Atlanta. We saw it in the loss against Boston. We saw these teams kind of running this, what they call a 5-out offense. Chicago did it with some success against the Cavs, even though the Cavs won those games. It is nitpicking a little bit, but the truth is, they've got to find a way to, and Kenny Atkinson has come out and said this, they've got to find a way to contain other teams' three-point shooters. When they got down big against Boston, even though they came back and won that game Sunday at home, they did a really nice job of kind of limiting or at least challenging a lot of those three-point shots from guys like Jason Tatum or Peyton Pritchard. And that's really been a point of emphasis since those Hawks games, where, as Brian Windhorst said, they just kind of got whatever looks they wanted from the perimeter and they were knocking them down. So, for a while there, it was working where other teams would just miss those shots in the second half. And eventually the numbers will add up where teams will start missing those three-pointers, even if they're open, because the legs are getting tired or whatever in the second half. But, Donovan Mitchell's come out and said, this zone is a work in progress. This is what we're doing. And, it's not important that we have it mastered now. We have to have it mastered in April. So, now you maybe take a couple of lumps, either not necessarily in losses, but, letting teams get on a big run throughout the course of the game. But I from everything I've seen, that's something that they're really working on cleaning up, and they did a nice job against the Celtics when it comes to defending the three-point line.
Yeah, and again, I think one of the things that's been really good about Kenny Atkinson, I know we're only, 22 games in now, he hasn't been afraid to change and tinker until he figures it out, and I imagine they'll figure something out.